Last year, I watched a man lose his business, his apartment, and his best friend in 4 months. Not to the economy, to a girl he met on Hinge who called him baby on the second date. He told me she was different. They all say she's different. I believed that too once. I was building something, had direction, had momentum, and then she showed up, and everything I was working toward just started falling apart, quietly. She wasn't evil in the way you see in movies. She was worse. She was patient and warm, and she made you feel like everything was finally falling into place. And by the time you figure out what she actually came for, there's nothing left to save. There's a type of woman that will walk into your life and strip you of everything, your ambition, your focus, your friendships, and leave you hollow. And you'll thank her for it while she does it. There's one sign that gives her away every single time. One thing she does in the first 2 weeks that tells you exactly what she is. I'll get to that. Because here's what nobody told you. Not every woman who shows interest in you is doing it because she sees something good in you. Some of them see something vulnerable, something they can use. And you don't see it coming because you're convinced that getting female attention means you're winning. You matched with her. She laughed at your jokes. She texted back fast. And your brain shut off every alarm that was trying to go off because you were so starved for intimacy, you would have ignored a fire alarm if she was the one pulling it. And the apps made this 10 times worse. You're looking at a curated version of her. The angles, the bio, the energy she puts out in those first few conversations. You're not meeting a human being, you're meeting a performance. And you've never been taught to tell the difference, so you walk right into it every single time. Think about it. She didn't ask about your goals, didn't care where you were going. She asked what you could do for her right now. And you answered, every time, like it was your job. And here's what's really going to sting. You're probably watching this alone right now, and there's already a specific girl in your head, a name, a face, that moment where something felt off and you told yourself you were overthinking it. You weren't overthinking it, you were right, and you ignored it because her attention felt better than your own instincts. And I already know what you're thinking. You're sitting there going, those girls don't exist where I'm from, or I'd recognize one immediately. Yeah. Tell that to the billionaires who lost half of everything they built. You think your small town makes you immune. It doesn't. She operates the same way everywhere. And here's the catastrophe you're not seeing yet. If you don't learn how to identify this type of woman, you become one of those men. Sitting in a studio apartment at 34, divorced, financially gutted, wondering how you had so much potential at 22 and ended up here. That's the direct result of letting the wrong woman into the architecture of your life. She didn't just waste your time. She took the years you were supposed to be building, the years your friends were stacking, the years that don't come back. And you'll blame yourself for being stupid. But it was never about intelligence. It was about need. Your need for her was louder than your need for yourself. I know this because I lived it. In my early 20s, I was building a business, had direction, had fire, and this girl showed up and she was everything I thought I wanted, knew exactly what to say, made me feel like the center of her world. And month after month, I started spending less time on what I was building and more time on what she needed. Literally just last week, I'm catching up with a friend of mine, hasn't dated in 2 years. I ask him why. He tells me about a girl who did the exact same thing, took his 20s, left him with nothing. He's 31 and still recovering. And I'm sitting there listening to him and thinking, man, that was almost me. Anyway, here's what I learned from all of that. Remember the sign I told you about? The one thing she does in the first 2 weeks, she never asks about your future. She only asks what you can give her now. That's the tell, every single time. If a woman is only interested in your present tense, she's not building with you. She's extracting from you. And this type of woman can't get to a man who actually knows what he's worth, not performing confidence, not faking it, genuinely understanding that your time and your direction are the most valuable things you own. These women don't even attempt it when they see that. They can read it on you. Same way they read desperation on a man in 4 seconds flat, they can read a man who won't bend. And they stay away. Because the flip is this, bro. You stop asking, is she into me? And you start asking, is she worthy of what I'm building? That's not arrogance. That's architecture. You're building a real life with real momentum. And anyone who enters that should be adding to it, not draining it. The second you start treating your own trajectory as sacred, the filtration happens on its own. You don't need a checklist. A man who knows his worth creates a standard the wrong woman can't meet. She knows it. She's always known it. She just bets that you don't. And look, some of you watching this right now are going to close this video and text her back tonight. You're going to tell yourself you can handle it. And I'm not going to stop you, because the men who needed to hear this already heard it. The sentence that hit you 3 minutes ago is still sitting in your chest right now. You know which one. I don't need to repeat it. I'm genuinely grateful I went through what I went through, because without that scar, I would have walked blind into the next one, and the next one after that. But I'm also angry that nobody said this to me when I was 21 and full of fire and making the worst decision of my life because she smelled good and laughed at my jokes. So I'm saying it to you now. Protect your time. Protect what you're building, because the woman who's right for you will never ask you to choose between her and your purpose. She'll sit next to it and build her own.